Hello, hello. Good day, my brothers and sisters of Skyward's community. And this is again a wonderful Saturday afternoon for me, maybe a Saturday evening for a lot of the other people or night. But anyway, if you see this recording, know that you can always that I'm always Saturday, so you can always attend a live meeting on Saturday afternoon. I'll post it in my group, so the live meeting is much more fun because after the recording there are a lot of questions, and it's always fun to have these questions because you need to get rid of your doubts, because doubts make you not go in action. So who am I? I am the communication manager, and my name is Kaat Jacobs. And I got in contact with this technology and with this crowdfunding platform in 2017, quite a while, meanwhile. And you can see I was amazed about this opportunity, this technology. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And so my friends and family and colleagues, I told them, let's do something for the world. Let's do something for the world, and we can do through this project something for the world. And we did actually a lot of them. I'm sorry, I can't get rid of the floating panel here. A lot of them joined like I did and became co-owner, and my team poof exploded. And then the board members asked me to follow a business coaching course because I am a life coach and a healthy coach for many years, actually 21 years. And so I went to this course with Yuri Galata, that was our coach, business coach. And it was a challenge, I can tell you that. And we were with 130 people from all over the world. And yeah, it was wonderful. Every month in another country. That was also very interesting. And then after that year, the leaders team, can you please mute? The leaders team chose 3 leaders of the leaders team, and I was one of them. So the board members asked me, please, can you become the communication manager? So I did. Who are the board members who asked me this, to be in this position? Well, these are the 5 board members. This is Evgeny Kudroshov. Let me let these people in. And Irina Volkova, František Sola, Dr. Vladimir Maslov, Alexei Shudoyev. These people are all very hardworking people. A lot of them are engineers, and they do their best to run the platform, and they do a very good job. So please, can you mute? Thank you. So what is Skyward's community? What is it? It's a crowdfunding platform. What do? We collect money. Wherefore? For a special technology. And I will tell you how special it is. You never saw it before. So what we offer is a convertible loan, and you have 2 options. You can be a co-owner of the technology, or you can get your money back after 3 years with 4% interest. Yes, okay. So what can you do for the platform? Of course, you can invest and become a co-owner, or you can be an active partner and like me, and tell the world about this opportunity and help us to collect the money for finishing off this technology, because we're almost at the finish. And then you can be both, like me too. I'm a co-owner and a partner. So what is this technology all about? Well, this is an innovative transportation system. Innovative means you never saw it before. It's not on the market yet. So what is so special about it? It is in the air. You can see it on the picture. And it is highly developed, very ecological, and it can be built anywhere. Because it is in the air, it can go over everything. That means we have no problems with traffic jam. Hallelujah for many of us. Yes, a lot of us are blocked in traffic jams with our car, and this goes above it. That's the only solution. Go above it. All the roads are blocked, and the peak hours are amazing challenges, and it's horrible for a lot of countries. Even in my country, I was born in Belgium, and there the traffic is horrific. So yes, this is the solution. And of course, we know that Mother Nature challenges. We also made a mess. These are some really horrific pictures too. And Unitsky is the transportation name, and we give a very simplified, hustle-free, clean solution, even for cargo. Yeah, can you imagine your roads without transportation of cargo? That would be wonderful. Yeah, no, the roads would not be so damaged, plus the traffic would go faster, and we all like to drive fast, right? So that is a major solution, and there is no other solution at the moment. Efficient solution. How can you say that, Kaat? Well, I was in 4 meetings in the port of Antwerp. That is in my country. That is one of the biggest harbors in the world, and they have major problems the last 12 years. And that was 4 years ago, so 16 years now. And they begged us, please go back to your founder, the creator of this technology, and ask them if you have a solution for container transportation. And we did. So what do we offer? Voila, there's a container transportation with us. We started with a small vehicle with 2 people. We called it Unibike. Then there was another one, this one, the Unibus, for 14 people. And then the demand got bigger and bigger and bigger to build in places where it's very hot, a lot of sun, humidity, cold, and we built. And even a very fast one, for me, that's my favorite, the high speed, 500 kilometers an hour. We even built a very light one that can be built anywhere. And I will tell you later on how that works. So bear with me. This one was the first Unibike. Then we had the Unibus. And here they are on the tracks. Yeah, people think it's only a design. No. They're up and hanging on the tracks. They're tested, certified. I mean, we did a major job in 6 years. You cannot imagine. Normally, for a normal brand like Mercedes or Porsche or Toyota, they take 6 years for one model. We built 12 models in 6 years. Can you imagine? So, and this one is especially for sand and high temperatures and humidity, the Unicar. Here it is on the tracks, even a 3-double one. This is a real picture, yeah. And then the Uni truck. I saw this being used. This Uni truck is for loose cargo. It can load and unload in 3 seconds. Here it is, 3 seconds. This is just, our CEO is a genius. If you see that, you cannot believe your eyes. And this is the Unitrans, especially for loose cargo, of course, and to load ships and containers and so on. Then here's the story about the light one, the Uniwind. Okay, the Uniwind is the lightest, the smallest, and it can be built anywhere. Why? you see next to the picture, you see a sort of helicopter. It looks like a helicopter, but it's not. It is actually a remote drone, no pilot. This is a picture I took myself, and in the back you see people also taking pictures. It's quite big and it can lift 1 ton. So it can lift this anchor next, in the other picture, this big anchor where the Uniwind is hanging on. It can lift it up and place it somewhere in nature without disturbing the nature, without destroying the environment. And then we only need a helicopter with a few engineers or technical people who put the anchor in the ground. Et voila, that's how we can build anywhere. We can build in swamps, we can build on difficult areas of mountainous areas, you name it. So isn't that genius? So this drone is a design of a CEO. And then my favorite, I always say it, I every week say it, because it is. I sat in it. You see here me in the picture. This is the high speed, and it goes 500 kilometers an hour, even faster, said the head of the engineers to me at that fair. That was the Unitrans in Berlin. That's the biggest fair, professional fair, not for public, in the world. And there all the big brands come and show their newest vehicles, and we were also there. And I can tell you, we were all overwhelmed with the popularity. It was wow, very tiring, a whole weekend, but it was wow. Then here it is, the unicorns. So this container transportation came there because me, a colleague and of mine, and an engineer, we went to the harbor in Antwerp, and they said, please, 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 can you help us with container transportation? That's a big deal. And when the engineer went to our CEO, he said, no time, no time. We're designing other vehicles, faster vehicles, vehicles for sand, and all these others. And then the pandemic came. And there was time. Everything was blocked. Every country was blocked except Belarus. And what did they do? Voila, they built it. And now it is hanging on the tracks in Sharjah and in Belarus. We have 2 test parks. Let me give you a guideline to see where the pictures is taken. If you see grass, then it's in Belarus. If it is sand on the ground, that is in Sharjah. Whereas Sharjah, that's the university city next to Dubai. Whereas Belarus, it's an independent country between Russia and Europe. And then this one is especially for tourism, yeah. It is just finished. It's not even certified. They're in certification process. 6 people can stand in it, and it is specially designed to go in places where there's beautiful nature and not to disturb the nature. One of my dreams is be very close to a waterfall, a huge waterfall, yeah, and don't disturb the nature. Just see how it is to be very close there. And this vehicle can do that. And can you imagine the solution it will give to a lot of tourist attractions without disturbing nature? It's a wonderful idea, and it is here. It's made, finished, it's on the tracks, and they're certifying it. So how does this technology work? I said it's innovative, yeah. Why is it innovative? Because everybody says, yeah, so it is called string technology, yeah. So it's a rail. No, it's not only a rail, or it's a cable. No, they say it's a cable. No, it's not a cable. Actually, it has a metal frame. You can see the metal frame. And in the metal frame, there's flexible concrete. And that makes the rail very resistance against tsunamis, hurricanes, earthquakes, you name it, yeah? So the rail cannot break. Then you have these white dots. And these white dots are not dots, these are cables, metal cables. It's like a string, yeah? And they are wrapped around each other. By the way, they're made in Belgium, in my home country. I am proud of that. So that's where the name string comes from. Yeah, it's string technology. It is inside a rail, yeah, with flexible concrete and then the strings. And on top of the rail, there is a metal coating, and this is a pattern of the CEO, another pattern of the CEO. By the way, the flexible concrete is also a pattern of the CEO. So that means the CEO designed it, the inventor of this technology designed it, invented it. So on top of this rail, there's this metal coating, and it is also on the wheel. And this is a special combination of metal. What makes it so special? If the wheel drives over the rail, there's almost no friction, because friction makes a lot of noise. Yeah, we all know these metal noises of trams and trains sometimes. And then also friction is the cause of a lot of loss of fuel, a lot of energy loss. The vehicles need a lot of energy to resist the friction, yeah? Okay, so that's this. And you see on the picture, we can also, in the rails, transport other things. You see the tubes here, yeah? Can you mute? Is it possible to mute? Thank you, sir. So this transportation runs 5 times smoother and is 3 times stronger than any other. Why? Because it's double anchored. You can see the red lines. It's double anchored. So we can build anywhere, above water, mountains, and valleys. And I can show you that because I was driving in it. I had to look outside to see if we were moving, because you couldn't feel it. I was standing up and I didn't need to hold my hands, you know, to have a steady going. No, it was just I stood there and I was like, are we gone yet? Are we driving yet? And it was, and I didn't feel it. So no bumpy ride. And we have 3 sorts of rails. You can see it on the picture. You have the flexible, the rigid, and the semi-rigid. The flexible one is for remote areas. And yes, there can be 5 kilometers between 2 anchors. That is mind-boggling, yeah? Where you sit here on your chair, 5 kilometers is the next anchor. Wow, yeah, that is wow. Then the rigid one is for very heavy load, yeah, a lot of people in at the same time, and we can transport 60,000 people in 1 hour. Or a lot of cargo, or a lot of high speed, yeah, it's a double one, yeah, underneath and above. So this can be used between 2 big cities, or from a big city to a harbor, or from a big city to a airport. Then we have the semi-rigid, and the semi-rigid you can compare like a train, tram, bus, metro, you know, but it's above the ground, yeah, everything above the ground. So bye-bye traffic jams, and it goes, the normal vehicles goes 150 kilometers an hour, and you have amazing views. So you see the city or the area where you live from another perspective. Then the heart of the technology is the engine. This is also a pattern of the CEO, so that means a complete new engine. You see the wheel next to the engine, and you see here the track. The wheel has the same metal coating, no friction, no sound, and not loss of a lot of energy. So what are the advantages? I told you already a few, and let me tell you some more. The aerodynamics are amazing. Yeah, aerodynamics are expressed in CX. So the CX of a normal car is 0.4. You see the yellow line with the error. The air is trapped underneath the car. Every car has the same problem. And then it swirls at the back. Even a Formula car one has the same, yeah. And it's the CX is better, yeah, but still there's the swirling. You can see it, yeah, it's at the back. So it pulls the vehicle backwards, and the vehicle needs extra fuel, yeah, needs to go forward. And Unitsky is in the air, so there's no trapping of air. And the design, you see, the design is quite impressive. The design is especially for the aerodynamics, of course, you can see that. So the CX is 0.06. That means if this vehicle passes you at 500 kilometers an hour, you will not feel it, you will not hear it, and the leaves on the trees will not move. Every time I say that, every week when I repeat that, I'm still amazed. And of course, we save up a lot of tons of energy. Here it is expressed in fuel, but you can also say electricity. Then we surpass all the parameters, and I can really assure this is absolutely the truth, because I was in these meetings, and of course the first question, how much does it cost? So the cost capital is very low, between 3 and 8 million the kilometer. I will give you some more information very soon. So the capital cost is boom, I mean below everything. Then the operational cost, that means the maintenance, that it goes for a long while, that we can use it for a long while. And Unitsky gives 100 years guarantee, so the CEO gives 100 years guarantee. That's a long time. So the operational costs are very low, and that is also a win-win. Then the energy consumption, I told you the aerodynamics, no friction of the wheel and the rail, is the energy consumption is below everything, yeah. So it's very ecological. But the capacity is a lot higher than general transportation we have. We can go very fast. I don't know if you like fast, but I like fast. So it is very cheap to build, to maintain, and then the energy consumption is very low. So that's all cheap. And then the capacity is very high. And then the last two ones are most important for me, is there's no pollution, and it's very safe. The CEO always says, I will save 1.5 million people a year if everybody would use this technology, and still people coming in. Good. And then the economics and the delivery time and the delivery cost, yeah, the speed and the economics. You can see it, we're doing, I mean, it's super good. And then people say to me, yeah, Kaat, but there are others. Yeah, you know, Unitsky is not the god. Well, let's compare them. Remember, we were in the harbor and they had no solution for 12 years. So that now that's 16 years. Okay. Oh, still people are coming in, so it pops up. I'm sorry for that. So as we know, or maybe you don't know, I wasn't aware of it, but a normal train track without a vehicle on top, without a train, just a train track, costs 22 million a kilometer. 22 million a kilometer. So we have now advanced technology, the monorail, the magnet levitation, and the hyperloop. Yeah, let's compare them. They're all eco-friendly. Thank God, it's quite good. They're all safe. Thank God too. Yeah, the hyperloop medium, but still safe. But then there is the challenge. They all need a flat ground. Do you know what it takes to build first a flat ground before you can build the technology? Yeah, the rails, the tracks, whatever you need. We don't. We just need a place where to put our anchors because we're in the air. We don't need a flat ground. That is a major, major step ahead of all the others. Yes. So, and then people say to me, yeah, but Kaat, the Hyperloop is very, very fast, 1,200 kilometers an hour, and time is money. Yeah, but do you see the price tag? It's 100 million and more the kilometer. Remember, a normal train track to 22 million the kilometers. So if you sit in a train, every kilometer, 22 million, 22 million, 22 million, 22 million. But the Hyperloop is more than 100 billion. And Unitsky is between 3 and 8 million the kilometer. So what do you think your government or private investors will choose? What do you think? What would you choose? Good. So who is the man behind this technology? Let me introduce you, Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. Anatoly Unitsky Eduardovich. Remember that name, because this man is a genius. He has 150 inventions on his name. How many inventions do we have, you and me? He has 150 inventions on his name. Every time I think, wow, 150 inventions. Then he wrote 20 books, monographies are books, yeah. Then 200 scientific papers. This man is very well known in the technology world and the scientific world. Well, if I always say if he was an actor, he would be world famous. But he is world famous, but then in the scientific world and in the engineering world, technology world, and he's a space engineer. And I'll tell you all about it just in a few seconds. So yes, he is the inventor and the big chief, yeah, the director of this technology. And yet here's some very nice pictures. And I told you, I will tell you something about space. You see at the left, this is his first design and his first test park and his first test vehicle. It's still alive. They renovated it and it's showing off in Belarus in the test park. But at the right, you see his latest invention, and that is to take all the factories into space. Green planet, only a green planet, clean green planet. So yes, it's wow. In Belarus, there's a museum of all his designs, and yeah, it's mind-boggling. If you see it, what this man produces in his life, he's now 73, and he dedicated his life at this technology. The only thing, I spoke with him 2 times, and the only thing that he's thinking about is changing everything that is polluting to better, good for the environment, save the planet, is in his mind all the time. And he had a vision when he was 6 years old, just a little boy of 6 years. And this vision told him, you will change the transportation in the world. And he is actually doing that. He dedicated more than 40 years of his life to this transportation, put all his money, his attention, his energy in it. And now together with him, we are succeeding. And I'm very honored to work for this technology. So here are some patterns all over the world, you can see it. And here, some beautiful pictures that he took the technology somewhere. In a lot of countries, you see Singapore to Berlin, and I attended a few You see me on the right side picture in the Inotrans I told you about. And the two gentlemen at my left were two gentlemen of the International Railroad of my country. And they were asking for help because they also have problems, big problems. So behind the strong man, there's a strong woman. And yes, this is Madame Nadezhda. She is also an engineer. She pushes Anatoly Unitsky forward. She is the one who makes him go on. And she's the business head, business mind of our factory and our company. And she's doing quite good because you see her here, she won a certificate of good management in 2018. A strong lady. So the results of all these years gathering money, what did we do? We bought several offices. We started very small, and then we sold it, and we bought another one, and we sold it, and then we bought this one. This is a nice 9-story high building because we have more than 600 employees working for us, very high educated people. This is in Minsk, Belarus. So Belarus is an independent country between Russia and Europe. Minsk is the capital of that country. You see in the back of the picture, you see the high buildings. So this is a very secure building because we need to protect the technology. And the picture below, that's all the people, the employees, the people working for us, still people coming in. Okay, so I love this picture. You see all the vehicles above them, and then Unitsky down there with his employees. A lot of people say it's a privilege to work for this man. So this is the factory. Here the same steps we took. We first bought this middle section area building, the white building, and at the back the blue. That's the factory. Then we built another piece, the blue on the right and left, and then the big one at the right. We built another section of the factory because we expanded. We had to, yeah. And underneath you see the pictures inside. One, the left is the tropical
This
vehicle.
meeting is being recorded.
Oh, it was not recorded. Who is doing this? Okay, whatever.
Oh, it was somebody who unmuted Kat.
Sorry?
It was somebody who unmuted.
Okay, good. And then the picture on the right, that is a vehicle that can stand very cold temperatures. And people tell me, please mute. Thank you. And people say to me and ask me, Kat, but these vehicles are in the air and made completely out of glass. Isn't that dangerous? Well, remember the 150 patents of the CEO. This is another invention of him. This is smart glass. This glass will not break, even if there's a projectile impacting it at 500 kilometers an hour. It can be even sharp. It doesn't matter. The glass will not break, and the glass keeps the temperature in the vehicle at a very pleasant temperature. And then what did we achieve? Also, we achieved to buy a big piece of land, and you can see it is quite huge. It was a horrible, neglected piece of land. And then we made a test park. And you see, if you look very carefully, you can see 7 tracks. We have now 7 tracks there. In the beginning, in the middle, you see a very little white dot, that's this house, that's the eco house. And this is a very self-sufficient house that I fell in love with when I saw it. It's completely self-sufficient, would love to have one like that. And we have our own gardens there, our own fruit trees there. We have even our own fish in the ponds. Why are we doing that? Because if delegates come and visit us, they get food from our trees and vegetables from our gardens and fish from our ponds. Why? Because we are showing the world that this is a completely ecological transportation. Then there's another test park, and you can take a screenshot. This is a test park in United Arab Emirates. It is in Sharjah. Sharjah is the university city next to Dubai in United Arab Emirates. And they are working at this moment. So if you want to visit it, then please make an appointment. You see the contacts below. Please make an appointment at least a month before, because they're working at this moment and it's not open for public. So don't get disappointed. It would be sad to go all the way there and then not be able to enter the test park. That would be sad. Yes, so prepare yourself if you go on this trip. And then I have these pictures. These are quite special pictures. The bigger picture is with the leaders team. Remember from the beginning of the meeting, I told you about the leaders team. Well, this is a piece of the leaders team, not all of the 130 people, but most of them were there. And we were invited by the CEO, Unitsky himself, to celebrate the first anchor in the ground in Sharjah. It was a very warm day in May, but it was worthwhile because this was a big step for us. And then above you see Unitsky and the CEO of Sharjah Test Park with a sign to show where the test park is. Then below there is a cargo and passenger station built and finished, and now they're connecting the tracks to it. I have a new picture. Just before I started the meeting, I found a new picture. So next time I show you that they're connecting the rails with the station. It's almost finished. And yes, we were all over the internet and the news and the media. You can find a lot about Unitsky everywhere. We were even in CNN Business and Fox News, and then we had tsunamis of telephone calls and emails. We were at the Expo 2020 in Dubai, and in the Expo in India. Yes, not so long ago in March, and our colleague, Mr. Said, was there and did a great job to give people information about the technology, and a lot of people who are already co-owners or wanted to become co-owners. He gave a lot of information. He did a very good job, very proud. Now let me hide this floating panel, because this is a very important picture. You see our CEO here very proudly holding a certificate in his hands, and this is a recognition that Unitsky String Technology is a bona fide partner for business activities in Belarus and abroad. So that means, in common words, that Unitsky, the technology, the transportation technology, is acknowledged to be built in the world. So in 2022, this year, we will have a new technology, transportation technology in the world. We know cars, we know trains and trams and trucks and bicycles, and and now there's Unitsky. And I can't wait for the first tracks to be used. I know a lot of people are waiting for it too. Then here, this is also a very important picture, because this is in Anambra. Anambra is a state in Nigeria, and they decided to build this technology. They have a very innovative governor who wants to change, who is changing his state in a very ecological state. And this man is doing a good job. A lot of respect for him. And yes, there were more than 50 delegates from all over the world visiting our test park in Belarus and in Sharjah. Of course, we had a lot of pictures. You saw a lot of pictures in your back office of many, many visitors. So where are we? Can you please mute? Thank you. Where are we now? There is a financial plan, of course. We have our crowdfunding platform. We have to have a financial plan. It started in 2014, this plan. And every stage we gathered money and bought something else. And we bought something else. And we bought something else. And we certified vehicles. We built vehicles, certified vehicles, because certification is also expensive. And it takes a while. And then when we were at stage 8, there was no risk anymore. Why? Because we now have enough assets. We even have so special machinery in our factory that we are making parts for other companies. So we have enough asset. If something would go wrong, we can sell it and pay back all the co-owners. But that will not happen, because we're now in stage 14.2. We're almost finished. And we sold 4 contracts last year. We have the payments in, and the pre-visibility is started. Pre-visibility, that means we give 100 years guarantee on the tracks. So that means we need to know what's in the ground. We need to know the impact of the environment and so on. So that is a study that takes a long time, because it needs to be done very precise. And then when the study is finished, they can start building. And so we are at the end of this collecting of money. And who can attend, who can be a co-owner? Everybody. The smallest package is $50. So Unitsky had a lot of difficulties. He put all his money in the technology to develop it. So he knows how it is to be poor. He knows how it is to have not a lot of money. So we also have packages to pay off for 5 and 9 months. And yes, we have more than 400,000 investors on our platform in every country now. So what do we offer? These convertible loans give you the chance to become a co-owner of the technology. What does that mean? So please listen to me, because I get a lot of questions about this. You get dividend shares in options. That is how it is called before the company would go on the stock market. Now listen very carefully. We do not need to go on the stock market to have dividends. We do not have to finish the 15 stages before we can have dividends. When will we receive dividends? When the company makes profit. When is the company making profit? This year. It should have been 2 years ago, but then the whole world had this crazy idea of shutting down, and we lost 2 years. Yeah, everybody lost 2 years. But we are still here. Not a lot, not every company can say that. Yeah, and not every platform can say that. So we survived very well. And this year we are making profit. Yes. So we expect next year, at the second part of the year. I talked to the board members 2 days ago, and they say the accountants need to do the calculation. So the first they do that in the first 3 months, and then we will have the solution, and then we will see how much profit. 20% of the profit goes to the co-owners. So the more shares you get, the more profit you will have. And yes, these dividends are inherited. So if you leave this beautiful planet, even your children will have a safe financial future. Why? Because you give your shares to them if you leave this beautiful planet. So can you imagine that your grandfather bought some shares from a railroad company 110 years ago, yeah? So your family would benefit 3 generations already. Can you imagine that? That's amazing, is it? And a lot of families thrived because of that only decision of that one man. And yes, you can sell your shares if the company goes on the stock market, but I pray to God that at least the 4 first years we will not go on the stock market. Why? Because people will make stupid decisions, because these dividends are the diamonds. Yeah, after 4 years the profit of the big projects will come in, and that means that a lot of dividends. The first 4 years will not be so much. Why? Because the profit of the smaller smaller projects come in. Of course, it doesn't take so long to finish them off, the pre-feasibility, and then build them. But the big, I mean, thousands of kilometers, that takes some time, yeah? And that we expect after 4 years, yeah? So if you have an idea what these dividends will do for you, then I did my best to explain it to you. And what about the stock market? Because that question is always in the air. Well, Kat, what about the stock market then? Well, we are here. We are at a pre-IPO. We have A-class shares. That means the best of the best. A-class shares. Oops. So let's go on further. No, back. Okay, A-class shares. What does that mean? A-class shares, the best of the best of the best. That's the dividend shares, yeah? They're still very cheap in the pre-IPO. If the company would go on the stock market, they bring the B-class shares on the stock market, the normal shares, yeah? Like everybody knows the normal shares. You can sell them, buy them, and make some profit. I did that for Tesla, yeah? I bought my shares. I bought 40 shares, I think, from Tesla, and they were 46 each, and then dollars, yeah? And I sold them at 86 each. And I thought, yeah, I made some profit. They were gone, one-time sales gone. And now Tesla is at 300 plus. So you can imagine. But with the A-class shares, you don't sell them. You keep them, you seal the contract in a plastic bag, and you keep that contract very, very in a safe place, very close to you. And then you will have dividends for the rest of your life, because Unitsky gives 100 years guarantee on the tracks. So that's, from 100 years from now, are you still alive? So that means the rest of your life and your children. You got it? All right. So get on this rapidly growing train company. How do you do that? First of all, let me explain to you the packages. You have the one-time buy packages. They have an advantage. They all have extra shares. Yeah, you can see the package of $1,000, 30,000 shares. 30,000. Remember, I bought 40 shares of Tesla. This is 30,000. Your share, one share costs you 3 cents. Very cheap, yeah. The more you buy, the less expensive. So that means the cheaper the share. You see on the bottom, $50, 800 shares. So one share costs you 6 cents. 6 cents. Okay, then we have the packages. Again, take the package of 1,000, you get 28,000 shares. Remember, if you buy in one time, it's 30,000 shares. If you pay off in 5 months, $200 a month, you get 28,000 shares. If you start a double payment, that means you start with $400, you get 1,000 extra shares on top, so it's 29,000 shares. And if for the very quick people, if you click on the link, somebody sends you registration link, you register, you load up your documents, you get verified, and you load up your first payment, you get 10% on top. Yeah, 29,000, 10% is 2,900 shares, so you're more than 30,000 there. So if you're smart, please do the calculation. So, and every share will be paid out, every share. Yeah, the more shares you have, the better. I'm still buying shares. Yeah. Okay. Then there was then there is Skyworld Community Championship Challenge. It is a challenge. They made it quite complicated. I had a lot of questions, but if you read it step by step, you will understand you have a lot of advantages. And one of the advantages I like is that until the end of the stage 15, whenever it takes, you will always be able to buy a discount of 1 to 100. That means for $1, 100 shares. Yeah, that's very good discount for you and your friends. That means the people in your downline. Isn't that great? And you have 3 steps of stages in the month May to June, July to August, and September till November. And when that is finished, the people who achieved the most can even win 1 million shares. 1 million. Yeah, here participants 1 million after the end of the year. Yeah. So I would say go for it, go for it. Okay, how do we start? How do we start? We give, well, I don't need to anymore, but you give your name, official name, like on your passport, your email address, and please use an email that you use a lot, that you have the passwords and the codes to, that you can enter. Then your phone number, and that should be your mobile phone number, because you will have some PIN codes coming in. Then you give that to the person who invited you here, and the person will connect you to the platform. Once you're connected to the platform, this is the login. You see the login. Please notice that on the bottom there you see the https://new.skyway.capital. That is the only browser address. That's the real address. Please copy it, send it to your email. Start from there. Please mute. Send it to your email. Please send it to your email and start from your email, not from Google, because there are hackers on the net and they like to hack into your account. If you bought your shares, no problem. They cannot do anything because your shares are on your name. But if you uploaded money or you have bonus on your bonus account, they can hack it. Yeah, and it happened. So we don't want to. We can't do anything about it. So you need to be attentive and focus what you're doing. So always start from your email. Thank you. And this is our app. It's on Android. You can install it for free on your telephone. You see my telephone there. And what does it give you? It gives you everything what you have normally on your laptop. You can see your shares, you can see the news. That is very important because you're a co-owner, and so you are an owner of this technology. So you need to know what your factory is doing, yeah, what the technology is doing. Then you can also see your team, if you have bonuses and so on. So it's for free. Go to the App Store, Play Store, and then look for our SWC or logo and download it, please. It's for free. People ask me some more information pages. You can take a screenshot here. We have the official site of the company. We also have the official website of Anatoly Unitsky. And go there and look at it. It's amazing. It's amazing. I like it. Every time I give the address, I always look what's new, and Unitsky surprises us a lot. So this is me. This is these are my contacts. If you need me, contact me. I have a group on Facebook, the Skyward New Millionaires. I have a YouTube channel, Telegram, and Instagram. There are more than 11,000 people in the Facebook group. Join me. I put in all the news, what I think it's very important for the co-owners. And I also personally answer all the questions in that group. So bring your group, your whole group, your downline, your family, bring them in there. Even if they have doubts, bring them to these meetings or send them the recording, because it's very important before you invest that you are 100% sure what you're doing and that you're behind this technology, yeah, that you are a supporter, that you are a co-owner who's happy, and we want the community to be happy. So thank you very much for looking at this interesting. For me, it's always interesting. I hope it was also interesting for you. I'm sure, actually. And maybe I see you next Saturday live with your questions. So thank you very much. I'm going to stop the recording.